Hi, this is Trey Pastor. Welcome to my review of Swamp Thing Episode 4. It's called Darkness on the Edge of Town. I think that's what it's called. Darkness on the Edge of Town. Right? Darkness on the Let me just double check that. I think it's, yeah, Darkness on the Edge of Town. This episode is, we have a lot of different things that happen. This review is going to have spoilers, of course. A lot of different things happen in this episode. We see Abby actually go out to the swamp looking for Alec, and she tells him that she's not going to give up on trying to cure him, and that she just needs like a sample. And he, with his plant-like powers, now reaches out and gives her a piece of himself. She takes it back and vows to, discover it, hopefully get a cure for him. Okay, and return him to, to human. And so at the same time, we also see two men in the forest, or in the swamp, I guess. Looks like they're cutting down trees. Okay, when one tree, all of a sudden, thing starts falling out of this tree, and the one guy is trying to get the other guy's attention, but he's wearing headphones while he's sawing the tree, so he doesn't really hear him at first until a body literally falls on one of the people, and it literally, scratches him. Okay, and he's freaked out by the dead body, and he vows never to come back and leaves. Okay, and later we find out that this guy is a chef, actually, in a restaurant that Abby's friend, the reporter Liz, works at. Or she works at there with her father. Okay, and we see that he's actually been infected. Okay, and he starts hallucinating, seeing snakes on his arm, to the point where he basically, literally puts his hand in the in the in the compactor to try to get rid of the snake. Of course, it gets taken away, and but before he does, they try to stop him from, Liz and her father tries to stop him from, literally, butchering his arm, because he's also stabbing at his arm too, trying to kill the imaginary snake that he can't see. And he winds up scratching the father. Okay, and then we find out, of course, that this is a disease, or that kind of spreads from person to person via blood, and with the scratches, it goes from body to body to body. Okay, and Abby, when she finds out from her friend what's going on, she goes to Alec to see if he knows what's going on, and he said there's a darkness in the swamp, and it's been released. Okay, and she goes back and she finds out her friend's father has been infected as well, and he's shooting off a gun, and they managed to stop him, but not before he scratches the sheriff. Okay, he scratches the sheriff, Lucilla, and of course Abby, is noticing that everybody that gets infected immediately, literally starts hallucinating. So she tries to go back to, and then find out that the sheriff, she's hallucinating that her son, Matt, has been wounded, and she's trying to stop, and she's thinking all these people are after her, and she's pointing her gun literally at everybody in the big town hall where they're having a party, until Abby, they convince her, to stop, and Abby stops her by tranking her, but not before she gets infected. Okay, and she literally goes back to the swamp, to see if she can get Alec, to help her. And of course, then we find out more about her past when, because she starts hallucinating about a big scary man, that's dragging her to the, through the swamp. And in reality, it's actually Swamp Thing, carrying her to try to calm her down. And he literally takes the darkness, the infection out of her. Okay, and later, they do a little backstory. And they find out that there was an incident in the hotel where the man was, an infection was spreading from place to place, and the last person that they knew had got it had left and disappeared, and nobody ever found him. And that was the guy that was stuck on the tree. And Alec, he can sense by touching the body that this guy knew that he was infected, and to stay away, to make sure he didn't infect anybody else, he literally brought himself out to the swamp and killed himself, so he wouldn't spread the infection to anybody else. Okay, and again, and also at the same time, we also have the little girl that that's kind of linked with Swamp Thing. The little girl, Susie Coyle, who of course her father got infected and he died, but she's by herself. So Harlan Edwards, his wife decides, that she would like to, Maria, she would like to bring the girl into her home, okay, to, take care of her because the girl has nobody else. Well, she actually has relatives, but they have like a lot of kids, so she figures she can bring the daughter in, and the husband, Avery, he says it's been a while since we had, a child in this house, so he's agreeable to it, just so it keeps his wife Maria distracted. Okay, and then we also see him. We see him. Remember in the last episode, he killed the banker who had loaned him the money and was threatening him to expose him if he didn't pay it back. And we see him burying the body, and we get a little bit of his backstory when they show a flashback of him. His father, had captured a gator and wanted him, the young Avery, to kill it, and he couldn't do it. And his father called him weak. And of course, which is kind of a juxtaposed to now that we see him that he has no problem killing now. Okay, so but this was a good episode. A lot of things happen. Again, we have more Alec and Abby bonding. Swamp Thing and Abby, bonding even more. We know that they're bonded because she vows to to cure him. Of course, there's not gonna be a cure for him. It wouldn't be a show if you cured Swamp Thing, but it's good. And also the Blue Devil, that character. I'm trying because, like I said, I could read up the comic book history of it, but I want to see how it plays out with the guy who last episode he was the Blue Devil character. That he seems like he's Ian Ziering. He the guy from 90210. He plays the Blue Devil character who's supposedly like an actor that was in the show, but we know there's more kind of supernatural things going on with him. Like he's stuck in this town, okay, and the lady told him, the little mystic lady told him that that Abby would be the key to him finally breaking free and getting out of this town, okay. So we just have a brief moment with him talking to Abby and then talking to the voodoo lady, her telling him that she's telling him that something's coming and he has to be ready for it, and she'll help him if she can. So we got that mystery going on as well, and also we also have the doctor that Jason Woodrow who Avery Sutherland brought in. He sees Abby, looking at the basically the Swamp Thing, his little tissue sample, and he volunteers to help her. He looks through the microscope and discover that it's plant-like, but it also has other properties, and he volunteers to basically help her to find out exactly what it is and what it's made up of. So you have that going on as well. So you have a lot of interesting moving parts going on in this show, and it is a shame that they canceled it. I just hope that some other network picks this show up, because this show is getting really good now. Okay, and these characters, like the actors, and hopefully it can continue beyond this, this one season, because it's a good show so far, what I've seen. Anyway, let me know what you think of episode 4, Darkness at the Edge of Town. What do you think of it? If you've seen it, what do you think of it? Feel free to leave comments down below. I have links to my social media in the description box: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I also have a link to my other channel called Views and Opinions. Please check that out as well. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.